Welcome to the program. It's the Livin Life and Style daily travel update for April 17th, 2025. April 17th, 2025. This program, I'm your host, Eric Tiemann, and this episode, today's offering of the daily travel update is, as always, brought to you by Livin Life and Style Travel, an independent travel agency of the Avoya network and a full service travel agency at that. They can help you with business. They can help you with personal leisure vacation travel. They can also help you with groups, events, all sorts of stuff in that manner. So give Livin Life and Style Travel a call at 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405 if you have any sort of travel needs. They would be more than happy to help you out. They being me. Dun dun dun. Somebody told me about my Livin Life and Style image in the back of my they're at the bar. You see it there behind my head, but it's backwards because you can see it up in the top corner there, and it's not backwards. I'm not exactly sure how to fix that. I'm gonna have to look into that at some point in time. So we have a host of stories here for you today. Oh, I forgot to turn off my ringer. Let me do that real quick so it's not distracting throughout the entire program. I wish I knew how to turn off my notification sounds, but I don't really. Got to make sure I keep all of my. Let's see what this does. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna mess with any of that. If I mess with it, then you won't be able to hear me, or some crazy crap will happen with the show, and I can't be having that. Can't be having that. So today we're going to talk about a new cruise line that is going to add a new American port to their list of stops. Adding an extra port in the United States is always a good thing. Happy about that. We are also going to talk about Royal Caribbean canceling a port and see how long that's going to last. It's kind of been an on again, off again situation with this port here over the last couple of years. So we'll see what they, we'll dig into what they're going to be doing with that. The TSA is allowing 11 crucial items to pack in any size. So we'll see about that. Does that mean we get to bring full bottles of shampoo again? That would be, that would be nice. I mean, I'd like to not to have to take my shoes off without paying a bribe. That would be nice, just to get on an airplane. But whatever. My wife finally paid the bribe. I call buying the TSA pre-check. That's the bribe. I use it somewhat in jest, but at the end of the day, it's kind of what it is when the government enforces a rule, but then allows you to pay an amount of money so you can avoid the rule. That's a bribe in any other sense of that interaction, but because we've made it official policy and it's a program, we apparently no longer consider it a bribe. So, whatever. And then, in the top 10 travel deals of the week for the past few weeks, we've had some very good deals from some luxury cruise lines, not just the premium cruise lines, but the luxury cruise lines. And I'm going to drop some info on you that there are a number of luxury cruise lines that are going to be offering very competitive prices for one of the favorite premier cruise lines. And so maybe it's an opportunity for some, and I don't know that I don't know that these rates are going to be the same for, I mean, it's more in the Australian cruise circuit. So, you may have to fly a long way to catch this boat, to catch these ships. But, if you're going to be in that area and you're going to be taking a cruise out of the Australian area, and it'd be worth it investigating that maybe this is true for cruises here around the States as well. I don't know. This is just, we'll go over that article, but it might be a great opportunity for some people who are considering a premium cruise to take a step up and see what the next level is all about. We're going to dig in first with the new cruise line that is going to boost tourism in an American city, and that American city is Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, Alabama. This is from News 5 WKRG. I'm assuming this is some sort of Mobile, Alabama news station. So anyways, this article, new cruise line to boost Mobile tourism in 2026, is by Haley Kennedy, came out on Monday. Mobile, Alabama. Haley writes, a new cruise line will make Mobile one of its stops starting in 2026. American Cruise Lines is a fleet of smaller ships offering both coastal and river tours. Beginning in March 2026, Mobile will be one of the 6 ports for their tour from New Orleans to Pensacola. Interesting. Quote, I think when you add another vendor here, another cruise company, that's going to kind of ignite a whole lot of other interest. So new business attracts other new business, end quote. Visit Mobile president and CEO David Clark said. The cruise will bring 180 passengers to Mobile each time it stops by for 12 hours as they tour the city. Quote, they want to take people to ports where there are cultural experiences, and so Mobile, being as old as we are, they feel like there will certainly be a lot of things here to see that will be of interest to their cruisers. End quote. Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson said. City officials hope to add to the success Carnival Spirit has in its first year back to Mobile, bringing in nearly 100,000 people. That's right. I do remember that. Carnival coming back to that port. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, I'd like to see more ports in American coastal cities for the big cruise ships, I think it might be fun to take a cruise that's designed to, like leave Boston or New York City and then like go down the East Coast and hit, Baltimore and DC, hit Philadelphia, go further down the coast to, Charlotte and Jacksonville and, Miami, and just do like a whole U.S. coastal, do the same thing on the Gulf Coast, do the same thing on the West Coast. I think you have some opportunities for some fantastic itineraries if you were to do something like that. The city of Mobile unveiled its new state-of-the-art gangway Tuesday as they are preparing to welcome guests starting in October. The gangway is now bigger and has AC for the long lines of people waiting to board the cruise. It cost the city nearly $5 million. Quote, cruise ships are floating assets. They can go anywhere at any time, Clark said. That's true because they're boats. They prefer to be called ships, but I mean, at the essence, a ship is just a big boat, and they're boats, so they can move. And so you do have to provide amenities for the ships to want to come to your port. Both American Cruise Lines and Carnival will be docked in the port of Mobile on March 22nd, 2026. I think that's exciting. I got to be honest. I think that's exciting. I'm really happy to hear. I was a little disappointed to hear Charlotte wasn't going. Charleston, sorry, not Charlotte. Charleston, South Carolina was losing a Carnival ship. Um, and who was it? Who was it that pulled out of Galveston? I think it was Princess pulled out of Galveston. So we might be, but there's a lot of cruise lines that are coming out of Galveston. But you have Galveston, you have New Orleans, you now have Mobile with Carnival Cruise Lines. You have Tampa, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, uh, Port Carnival, which is or not Carnival, Port Canaveral. You have Port Canaveral there near Orlando. And then Charlotte was a hub, but I don't think they have any ships now because I think the only one was that Carnival ship that is no longer going out of there. There's Norfolk. There is, what is it? Baltimore, but Baltimore is pretty much closed down since the Key Bridge has collapsed and they haven't gotten it rebuilt yet. Then there's New York City and Cape Liberty right up there by New York City. And then I think Boston has a port that ships launch from. Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle. Those are most of them. So anytime we have an opportunity to get more ports, it's a good thing, I think, anyway. I'm happy that it's happening. And, Mobile's not any closer to me than New Orleans. Might be a little closer than Galveston. But with that American Cruise Lines with their river cruises and stuff, that might be something to check out because they're obviously going to be a more American, tours of America. So that'll be pretty cool. All right. So one port is opening and one port of call is at least temporarily closing. We're talking Royal Caribbean. And Royal Caribbean cancels visits and puts Caribbean port back on the naughty list. This article from thetravel.com by Alessandro Pasalaupi. I hope I said your name correctly, Alessandro. I tried. Royal Caribbean refers to Labadee, Haiti as the place where beachside meets mountainside. There is no denying the beauty of the location and all the great excursions attached to Labadee. Royal Caribbean was clearly all in on the destination, with more than a few cruises headed to Labadee stretching into 2026. Cruises include the Eastern Caribbean cruise, which departs from Miami, Florida, on the Freedom of the Seas. We're not quite sure what the future holds, but for now, voyages to Labadee are back on hold. We'll take a closer look at what Royal Caribbean has said and the email they sent to guests on ships headed to Labadee. Excuse me. For now, Royal Caribbean has announced 2 cancellations. For lots of cruisers, the decision doesn't come as much of a shock given Haiti's current do not travel warning issued by the United States Department of State. Royal Caribbean has once again canceled stops to Labadee, Haiti. That's right. Once again, Royal Caribbean has put Labadee, Haiti back on the banned list, canceling stops with the Voyager of the Seas and Oasis of the Seas. Royal Caribbean announced its replacements for Labadee. Voyager of the Seas will go to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, and Oasis of the Seas will go to Nassau, the Bahamas. I would much prefer to go to Puerto Plata, but that's mostly because I've been to Nassau so many times. No word yet on the timetable for Labadee's latest pause. The last time voyages to Labadee were suspended was almost a year ago in March of 2024. Suspension continued until it resumed sailing in October. Royal Caribbean did issue a brief statement on the cancellations. Quote, "Out of an abundance of caution, we have temporarily paused our upcoming visits to Labadee." A Royal Caribbean spokesperson said, "We have already communicated with guests directly," end quote. Royal Caribbean apologized to guests in an email, particularly those that had already booked excursions. "We're terribly sorry for the last minute change." What are you going to do? I mean, I understand the frustration, but at the end of the day, I mean, crazy things are happening in Haiti. So it's probably best that you be cautious and do the right thing. I'm just saying. Royal Caribbean's private island in Haiti was far and secluded from the dangerous areas. That is true. In addition, it should also be noted that guests never issued any complaints over safety concerns. Nevertheless, the level 4 do not travel advisory is certainly alarming, especially for guests that have never been to Haiti. I mean, I'm not going to fault the cruise line for not for being overly cautious. Haiti is currently under a level 4 do not travel advisory. Haiti's advisory issued by the U.S. Department of State is still at a level 4 do not travel warning. Kidnapping, crime, civil unrest, and limited health care and the major reasons as to why. The U.S. Department of State wrote, quote, since March 2024, Haiti has been under a state of emergency. Crimes involving firearms are common in Haiti. They include robbery, carjackings, sexual assault, and kidnappings for ransom. Kidnapping is widespread, and U.S. citizens have been victims and have been hurt or killed. Kidnappers may plan carefully or target victims at random, unplanned times. Kidnappers will even target and attack convoys. Kidnapping cases often involve ransom requests. Victims' families have paid thousands of dollars to rescue their family members. Look, man, I can't imagine being on like an excursion and like being hijacked, like your caravan of your excursion is hijacked by bandits and they kidnap you and hold you for ransom. I want nothing to do with that. I don't even want to be close to it. So if that's the case, I mean, like, yeah, please don't go to Haiti. Don't go to Haiti. U.S. government personnel in Haiti are prohibited from using any kind of public transportation or taxis, visiting banks and using ATMs, driving at night, traveling anywhere after dark, traveling without prior approval, and special security measures in place. And that's U.S. government personnel. I'm pretty sure you, as an individual vacationer, aren't going to have special security measures in place to visit the island. So, it might just be best to stay away. U.S. travelers are also advised to avoid demonstrations, crowds, and not to drive through roadblocks. So, I mean, duh. Like the idea that you have to warn people of that is a little, astonishing. But look at that Oasis of the Seas, beautiful boat, beautiful boat. The Aqua Theater back here, they do some really cool stuff in the Aqua Theater. Royal Caribbean guests were also alerted about excursions at a popular destination. Both Nassau and Freeport on New Providence and Grand Bahama Islands were deemed problematic by the U.S. State Department. In particular, visitors should be on the lookout during jet ski excursions and boating. The U.S. Department of State warnings: boating is not well regulated. Injuries and deaths have occurred. Okay, yeah, okay. That I just don't want to be attacked by bandits, right? If I take, a boat ride and something bad happens on the boat ride, well, but maybe not get down in one of those glass bottom boats if you're in the Bahamas. That might be a good idea. Sexual assaults by jet ski operators have also been reported. Okay, that's no. Stay away from the jet skis. Due to the risks, U.S. government employees are prohibited from using jet skis and personal watercraft rented from independent operators on New Providence and Paradise Islands. Watercraft may not be safe, and some operators are not licensed or insured. Watercraft operators sometimes ignore weather forecasts, always follow local weather and marine alerts. The Bahamas is currently under a level 2 exercise increased caution warning. It's always under that warning. I don't even know why that part was added. I mean, it's good to know about the watercraft stuff, especially the sexual assaults being, committed by jet ski operators, but the Bahamas, it's always under level 2. You really shouldn't walk too far off the beaten path in the Bahamas if you're new there and you've never been there before. But it's also like every other city. I bet if you go look, you'll find that other countries have similar warnings or worse warnings for cities like New York City, San Francisco, Chicago, Los Angeles, you know, and in other cities, you know, will have less. It's just the way it is, man. Bahamas is just another place that has all the same problems we have in all the places we're familiar with. So I'm kind of excited about this next one. TSA revolutionizes U.S. travel experience by allowing 11 crucial items to pack in any size for effortless journey. It's about time. They started putting these rules in place. I had just turned 20. No, just turned 20, like 22 or something, 25, something like that. But it was my 20s when these rules were put in place, and they've been pointless and worthless. It's about time that we're going to allow 11 crucial items to pack. So let's find out what they are. This is from Travel and Tour World. This is published earlier today. Flying in the U.S. can be a challenging experience, with the security checkpoint often standing as one of the most stressful hurdles. However, the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has recently eased certain rules regarding the carrying of liquids and gels and hand luggage. Woohoo! The TSA has lifted the 3.4-ounce restriction on several items, especially those considered medically essential by the agency. For example, breast milk, infant formula, and even pouches of pureed food can now be included in carry-on luggage without the requirement of fitting them into a quart-sized bag. Furthermore, items used to maintain these products at a cool temperature, such as ice packs and freezer gel packs, are allowed regardless of whether they are frozen. The TSA advises travelers to notify security officers about any infant food and to take it out of the carry-on for separate screening. Medications and related accessories will also be exempt from the TSA's 3.4-ounce restriction. The following 11 items are newly allowed: over-the-counter medications, prescription medications in gel, liquid, or aerosol form, ice packs or gel packs for medical purposes, breast milk formula or baby food, liquid-filled teething devices, nasal sprays and saline solutions, artificial tears, eye drops, and contact lens solution. Hey, my wife will be happy about that. Non-flammable deodorant sprays, liquids for dental prostheses, and medical creams and lotions. So you still have to stick to the 3.4-ounce bottle for your shampoo and conditioner. Really? TSA, you had to leave the shampoo and conditioner off the list? Okay, fine. But at least we got these 11. We'll take the 11. It was about to be really awesome, and then it got a little less awesome. All right, now to wrap it up for the day, I was touching on this: the luxury cruise lines that are offering competitive pricing against Princess. Princess is a premier line, but not a luxury line. And so if you're all and they have great pricing. So if you're talking about um, taking a step up to the higher level of luxury from, Celebrity, Virgin Voyages, or, Princess, obviously, this might be something for you to look into. The 2025-2026 Australian cruise season will see a shift in dynamics, with Princess Cruises reducing its fleet to just 2 ships. As a result, boutique and luxury cruise lines such as Viking, Azamara, and Silversea are increasing their presence in the region, making waves with competitive pricing that rivals Princess Cruises. While Princess Cruises has been a favorite among Australians, the reaction in capacity, with only 6,740 passengers on board for the season, has left many loyal cruisers in search of alternatives. Princess was previously home to 4 ships offering total capacity of 11,770 passengers during the 2023-2024 season. With Princess scaling down to just 2 vessels, travelers may find that cruise operations from Azamara and Oceania are priced similarly, providing an attractive proposition for those looking for a more intimate experience. Pricing comparisons, luxury options versus Princess Cruises. So dig into some of these numbers here. Despite the upscale nature of smaller cruise lines, an analysis by Cruise Passenger found that fares on ships like Azamara Pursuit and Oceania Cruises come surprisingly close to Princess Cruises pricing. For example, Azamara's 21-night Australia intensive voyage, visiting destinations such as Eden, Kangaroo Island, and Margaret River, starts from $7,229 or $344 per night per person, I think. Doesn't say per person, but usually it is. This price is comparable to some of Princess's longer itineraries, such as the 14-day New Zealand cruise aboard Discovery Princess, priced at $5,309 or $379 per night. Psh, comparable, it's a better deal. I mean, on the per night basis. Additionally, Azamara offers more inclusions in its base fare, including unlimited self-service laundry, as well as beer, wine, and spirits 24/7. Open bar. Azamara. I have to look into this. In comparison, Princess Cruises does not include these amenities in its base pricing. Oceania Cruises also offers similar value for those looking for a more premium experience, with a 14-night Sydney to Bali voyage priced from $5,850 or $417 per night. That's not bad. Oceania does not include alcoholic beverages. It offers valuable inclusions like specialty dining, unlimited Wi-Fi, and group fitness classes. I got to say, group fitness classes, while they should be an amenity to me, they're not. I'm never going to use them. I mean, at least not right now in my life. I probably should. I probably should prioritize a little bit more healthiness, but I'm not there yet. I'm busy getting this business going and getting this channel going. So, maybe soon. We'll see. Will luxury cruise lines continue to compete with Princess pricing? With Princess Cruises reducing the number of ships, Australians might be surprised to find that the price gap between luxury and mid-tier cruise lines is narrowing. Oceania and Azamara offer guests a more upscale experience with smaller ships, which provide more intimate voyages and the ability to reach remote destinations that larger ships can't access. In 2026, Princess Cruises will bring back 3 ships to Australia, which could relieve pricing pressures. However, as smaller ships continue to increase in popularity and larger ships' capacity decreases, we may see further compression in the price difference between luxury and mainstream cruise lines. And as demand for new and exotic destinations grows, travelers may find that luxury cruise lines provide the added benefit of exploring underdeveloped locations, offering a unique and tailored travel experience. The competition in the Australian market promises to offer more choices and pricing flexibility for cruise enthusiasts in the upcoming season. I'm going to have to dig in and find out if that includes, if that's going to include like more. Oh, what am I thinking? If that's going to be like the same over here in the States, or maybe in the Med in Europe. Maybe some of these these higher end cruise lines are going to start comparing more favorably to Celebrity, Virgin, and Princess. I'm interested to research this. So, wow, I got through those stories a lot faster than I expected, but sometimes that's how it goes. I get through them, and it's just time to move on to the next thing. I would like to invite all of you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification button, like the video. I'd really appreciate it. All the help in helping to grow the channel. All of your contributions help. Comment on the videos. That's great too. Um, Also, if you're on Facebook, find us at just search for Living Life and Style. Join the and you can also look for the Living Life and Style social group. I'm trying to grow that, increase the activity in that community. So if you would like to participate, I started off with it as being an idea for people to get together. So um, as we grow things, I'm going to start adding events and stuff that people can join us and network and get to meet, uh, meet good quality, friendly people. So with that being said, hey, thank you for watching the Living Life and Style Daily Travel Update for April 17th, 2025. It's brought to you by Living Life and Style Travel. Living Life and Style Travel is an independent agency within the Avoya network, and they are a full service travel agency. Being part of the Avoya network gives them access to all kinds of added exclusive benefits, exclusive rates, exclusive amenities, and deals. So if you're looking for special pricing on things, not everything you want is going to have special pricing, but they're going to have access to special pricing, if that's what you're looking for. So give them a call, 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405. You can find us on the web at livinglifeandstyle.com. I think I've thought every day this week I was going to get the new site launched, and I have not had a chance to get around to it. I got to be honest, there's been a lot of people who've been requesting rail travel on some amazing Amtrak vacations. So at the end, that's really been what's been I've been really busy after the show, so I haven't had a chance to launch the site yet. But it is all ready to go, and I'm really gearing to get it done today. So wish me luck. I hope it's out there. Go check it out, livinglifeandstyle.com, and see if it's launched. And obviously, once it is launched, I will definitely talk about it and brag about it a lot here on the Living Life and Style Daily Travel Update. So with that being said, thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you. Let's see, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. I have nothing going on. The boy is, no, I will be here tomorrow for the Living Life and Style Daily Travel Update on April 18th. So I look forward to seeing you then, and we will talk tomorrow. Have a great day. Be good out there.